Clayton Thomas. Back in May, earlier this year, Dr. Thomas received his Hall of Fame plaque in a special ceremony from the BFA board president, McMurphy. This is the one that will go up on the wall here. Due to his declining health, Dr. Thomas was unable to be here for the induction today. With us, though, is Bob Walagunda. Dr. Thomas had asked Bob to travel here to Indianola to represent him today at today's ceremony, as these two men have been timeless friends. Bob had trained Dr. Thomas to fly in a hot air balloon, and in the early years, he flew from a soon-to-be balloon port called Dingle Dell. Dr. Thomas purchased his first balloon from Bob, and they flew together regularly. His son Clayton Jr. served as Bob's crew chief for several years, and Dr. Thomas participated in many of the balloon racing events and promotions that Bob organized and participated in. Aside from being balloon buddies, the two men also shared an adventuresome spirit in skydiving and aviation in general, including parachuting at the Jacques Estelle Parachutes Inc. Center in Orange, Massachusetts. And they are still close friends yet to this day. Like Jacques Andre Estelle, whose emphasis was on safety and parachuting, Dr. Thomas emphasized safety and ballooning, achieving many safety awards, including most recently, as Orm mentioned earlier, the Ed Yost Master Pilot Award presented by the BFA. He also was a recipient of the Massachusetts State Award from the Aero Club of New England, the Wright Brothers Master Pilot Award, and the Montgolfier Award. At this time, I'm really proud to be able to introduce you to Mr. Bob Walagunda.
It's a pleasure to be here today with everyone as we come together from a variety of backgrounds to share the common bond, ballooning. First, let us acknowledge and remember those from our community that have left us and pray for them and their families and their friends. A special tribute and congratulations to both Bill Murtorf and Dennis Floden. I work with Bill, and I'll always remember his excitement and enthusiasm when he first got into ballooning. It was contagious. And Denny Floden, Captain Fogg, a friend and fellow balloon distributor with whom I worked for many years. Today, we honor Dr. Clayton Thomas and his induction into the U.S. Ballooning Hall of Fame. We know of Dr. Thomas's background as a U.S. Navy flight surgeon who got into aerospace medicine because of his love of aviation. We know of his prowess in the balloon community, where safety was his hallmark, receiving numerous safety awards. What I'd like to share with you today is about Dr. Thomas, the man, someone I have known for almost 45 years. First on the list would be family values. I'd like to recognize Dr. Thomas's family, who could not be here today. They say that behind every great man there's a great woman, and that would be Peggy, Dr. Thomas's wife of 62 years. They have four children, all certified commercial balloon pilots. Son Robert owns Balloons Unlimited in Middleburg, Virginia, and he owns the airport in Newmarket, Virginia. Son Clayton is an investment banker in Denver, Colorado, and a professional worldwide sailplane competitor. Daughter Wendy is a nurse at the local high school and still manages the repair station at the Balloon School of Massachusetts. And daughter Gwen was a former executive vice president of Buena Vista Productions, a division of Disney, and an Emmy Award-winning producer of Martha Stewart and a senior producer of Dr. Phil. Second on the list would be attitude. They say that your attitude almost always determines your altitude in life. Dr. Thomas was always reaching for the stars, always positive, always encouraging, and always enthusiastic. Third would be sense of humor. And as we all can see, sense of humor is sort of a prerequisite for ballooning. There was always a smile, always a joke. In one of our early Belmont Festival balloon races, Dr. Thomas landed in the Bronx, New York, with a myriad of police cars following him. When on the ground, they asked him why he was doing this, and his response was, "Beats cutting the lawn." Next would be dedication, from the safety-oriented curriculum of instruction and flight checks to one of his greatest accomplishments, the editing of Tabor's Cyclopedic Medical Dictionary. One of his greatest contributions because, he said, nurses would buy his book before they bought any other. Next on the list would be loyalty. As a patriot, from the time he served as a U.S. Navy flight surgeon with his support of the U.S. Marines, and as a flight surgeon of the sports medical teams, for which he participated at the Mexico City and Munich Olympic Games. He was the balloon meister for the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid in 1980. And lastly would be courage. A defining moment in his life when an Air France flight he and Peggy were on was hijacked. And he, in 1983, and he was forced down, the plane was forced down in Tehran. While kneeling down on the runway for 45 minutes on the hot tarmac with a gun to his head, he knew he had to keep calm. There was nothing he could do about it, and he thought of his great family and the fact that he had a great life. Dr. Thomas's mom told him that the greatest influence in his life was the Methodist Church and the Boy Scouts. When asked about what he thought contributed to all of his blessings, he said, "It is the work of God." And so too, we are blessed to have Dr. Clayton Thomas, a prince of a man and a giant in the balloon community. Thank you.